This is an extract from the Leader Coronavirus Daily podcast by the Evening Standard and hosted by me, David Marsland. To hear the whole thing, search for it on your podcast provider. There are still limits to what you can and can't do outside this bank holiday.
Is a gathering that cannot happen under the current COVID-19 legislation and restrictions. COVID-19 rules, yeah. The reason we are here is to provide safety for people. And by doing that,
West Midlands Police have released a video showing officers breaking up a large social gathering. But if there's just you and one friend and a lot of space, you can get out if there's sun, and there are things to do. The Evening Standard's Amira Hashish is with me now. And Amira, you've actually bought a real drink from a real bar.
I stumbled across a restaurant that's been quite inventive with the way that it's doing things at the moment. They've cordoned off the entrance so that it's operating as a takeaway, but it's providing the locals with Aperol Spritz and Negroni. You form an orderly queue as you would in any other supermarket situation at the moment. When you get to the front of that queue, you are in a position where you can order yourself a nice drink. And it's obviously been super sunny. It made for a lovely atmosphere. They were even blasting out a bit of music. There were some olives on tap as well if you wanted to to sample some olives, even some garlic pizza bread. So everyone got very excited, and it was actually quite sweet to see that this community come together and sort of share a moment. And I think that the more the rules change and, you know, people learn to become flexible with their businesses, then we'll be seeing that kind of stuff in the streets.
Did it feel a bit illicit, Amira? I mean, I'm sure you were never the person who underage sneaked into a bar any time in your life, but did it kind of have that little frisson of excitement about it, getting something that you're not supposed to have, suddenly there it is in front of you?
I am always extremely well behaved. However, I think you could sense that people didn't quite know if this was allowed or not. I think it is. I think it does, like I said, adhere to all the rules. There was a moment when a police van drove past, and it was full of police actually, so they were obviously sort of doing the rounds, but they saw everyone and they obviously didn't think anyone was actually doing anything wrong because they just let everyone carry on about their business. So yeah, I think people were worried that it was illicit, but it actually wasn't, I hope, and the police didn't seem to think so it's all good.
I do wonder though if there is a fairly serious point there about people kind of not really sure what they can and cannot do.
Because this is so new to us and, you know, everyone's trying to follow the guidelines as much as they should, I think in truth, those guidelines are quite blurred in some cases, and it's about using your common sense. But yeah, there is this fear that we're doing things in the right or wrong way, and also about being judged. I think people are nervous about, you know, telling friends or family that they've met up with this person, or, you know, whatever it may be, even if it's under the strict new guidelines, which of course we should all be sticking to, but we're all adapting. It's a big learning curve. And the other thing is, you know, I'm someone that has that lives by myself, and I've spent the last 10 weeks or however long it's been by myself, and I'm usually a very, very sociable person. And actually now going back out and seeing that one person a day is kind of a new experience in itself, you know. And I think this is it. People will find that, you know, they've got to get their heads around now actually going back out and doing stuff.
There are a few places open in London and around the rest of the UK. Did you find that people were talking to you even though you've never met them? Did it kind of have that kind of atmosphere about it?
Yes, it does. And actually, that as someone that is, you know, a big talker, I'm Welsh, so I'll talk to anyone. The thing that's come out of this that is quite charming is that people, I find, are more friendly and more caring. And, you know, I'm going for a stroll by myself. I find that I'm interacting with people whilst keeping my distance much more so than I usually would in London. It's made people more open, I think. There's this sense of us all being in something together. There's this warmth that is the upside of what's happened.
And of course, the Evening Standard and online has lots of ideas and suggestions for people and the things that they can do, whether they're going out or still deciding to stay in, doesn't it?
It does. So if you head to our website, we've got this rolling guide. We've got London indoors, which is one section that covers essentially all the stuff that you would usually be able to go and do, like go to a restaurant, but in your own home. And also as part of our lifestyle section, we've got a healthy at home. So how you can kind of work out. And again, every day we're updating that and figuring out what new stuff we can do. But that's the place to go if you want inspiration.
Will you be going out this bank holiday? Have you had enough, or are you going to go venture back out there?
I'm definitely venturing back out. I think the weather's nice, isn't it? I'm certainly going to go for that stroll and, meet up with a friend at a time. Yeah, I'm getting back into it for sure. You might find me outside a venue queuing for something.
Search for the Leader Coronavirus Daily on any podcast provider to hear more from the podcast.